How dare you embarrass this family? My mom shouted before slapping me across the face in front of everyone. The room went silent, forks frozen midair. I didn't react because I knew something they didn't, and tonight the truth would come out. My name is Madison Brooks, and I'm 34 years old. I work as a restaurant operations manager. Not rich or glamorous, but dependable and steady. I've always been the one who solved problems, paid bills when things got hard, and stayed strong when everyone else fell apart. My younger sister was the favorite, the one they praised, protected, and excused no matter what she did. I only wanted respect and fairness, but in my family, those things were never meant for me. I gave up my dream of opening my own cafe because every crisis somehow became my responsibility. When my parents needed money, I helped. When my sister made mistakes, I cleaned them up. They called me quiet, easy, and predictable. They thought I would always stay silent. I wasn't rich or glamorous, but I had something they didn't expect. Years of being ignored taught me patience. Years of being hurt taught me observation. And patience can be more powerful than anger. If you've ever felt invisible in your own family, I see you. If people underestimated your kindness or your silence, you're not alone. Subscribe and tell me in the comments, have you ever been treated unfairly despite your sacrifices? Click hype or like before we continue, because your voice matters here. The dinner that night was supposed to celebrate my sister's engagement and her new business. I organized everything, from the catering to the guest list, yet no one thanked me. The room smelled like roasted garlic and fresh bread, but the tension under it was sharp. I stood near the table while guests laughed, and my sister suddenly raised her voice. "You've been spreading rumors about me," she said. I blinked. "What are you talking about?" She smirked. "Don't pretend. You're jealous." My mom stepped in quickly. "Madison, apologize right now." I shook my head. "I didn't do anything." My sister laughed. "See, she always plays the victim." Guests started whispering. I felt heat in my chest, but stayed calm. "Tell me one rumor," I said. My mom's face turned cold. "You're ruining this night." I answered softly, "I only want the truth." That was when her hand struck my face. The sound echoed. Someone dropped a glass. My ears rang as she said, "You will not destroy this family." I tasted blood. My sister leaned close and whispered, "Stay quiet or things will get worse." I looked around at shocked faces. Phones were raised. I swallowed my pride and said nothing. After that night, the real pressure began. My parents called me the next morning. My mom's voice was sweet but sharp. "You need to apologize. You embarrassed us." I said, "You hit me in front of 30 people." She replied, "You forced my hand." My father joined. "Fix this or don't expect our support again." I felt the old pain, but something inside me had changed. I answered, "I will not lie." Days later, relatives began avoiding me. My sister told everyone I was unstable. I heard whispers at family gatherings. "She's jealous. She's always been difficult." The words cut deeper than the slap. One afternoon, I overheard two aunts talking in the hallway. "She wants attention." I stood there, frozen. That night, my father called again. "If you don't fix this, you won't be invited to future events." I said calmly, "If that's your choice, I accept it." He sounded shocked. I stopped explaining. I stopped defending. Instead, I listened. I noticed lies, contradictions, and strange behavior. My silence made them bold. They thought they had already won. What they didn't know was that I had suspected manipulation for years. I had watched my sister twist stories and my mother support her every time. Working in restaurant operations taught me more than management. It taught me about security systems and surveillance. I knew how to access footage and preserve it legally. After the dinner, I contacted the venue manager. I requested copies of the security recordings. At first, I just wanted proof of the slap. But what I found was worse. I saw my sister rehearsing accusations earlier that evening. I saw my mother coaching her. I heard them planning to force me into silence. I also discovered recordings of private conversations near the hallway cameras. They discussed money, lies, and manipulation. The slap was only part of their plan. I collected everything. I organized every file. I waited. I had a plan they never saw coming. My cousin Leah was the only person who reached out. She had always been treated as the black sheep. "I know they're lying," she told me. We met at a quiet cafe. She shared things she had heard for years. "They've done this before," she said. Her support gave me strength. Together, we prepared. My sister announced a second engagement celebration. I was invited only to apologize publicly. Leah squeezed my hand. "You don't owe them anything." I smiled. "I owe myself the truth." As the day approached, my family acted proud and confident. My sister posted photos online acting perfect. My mom called me. "Be respectful this time." I answered, "Of course." They believed I had surrendered. Leah stood beside me. "I'm with you," she said. I walked into that event, calm and steady. The room was full again. Guests watched me closely. My mother stepped forward. "Madison, do you have something to say?" I nodded. "Yes, I do." My sister crossed her arms. "Finally!" I looked at the event coordinator. "Please play the video." Confusion spread. The screen lit up. Footage showed my sister practicing her accusations. Gasps filled the room. Then my mother's voice appeared, encouraging the lie. My sister shouted, "This is fake." I answered coldly, "It's verified." Another clip played. They discussed manipulating relatives and hiding financial problems. Guests murmured. My father stared in shock. "Is this true?" he asked. My sister stuttered. My mother tried to speak, but no one listened. I continued, "There's more." I explained how they used family funds and blamed me. Silence fell. My father turned to them. "You lied to me." My sister cried. My mother begged. The power shifted completely. I walked out with my head high. I stopped chasing their approval. I focused on my dream and began planning my cafe again. Leah stayed close, and we became stronger as family. My mother and sister faced consequences for their actions. I learned that silence can be strength when it is guided by truth. I learned that dignity matters more than winning arguments. Most importantly, I learned to choose peace over pain. If you've ever been humiliated in front of others, I understand how deep that hurt goes. Share your story in the comments and stand with this community. Subscribe so we can support each other. Your dignity and patience are powerful. Click hype to help the story reach others who need it. Your story has power. If you felt a connection to mine, please subscribe and share your journey in the comments. Every hype you give this video helps empower someone else. Thank you for being here and for listening. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments. If this story touched your heart, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more stories about resilience, dignity, and quiet justice. Because some lessons don't come with applause. They come with peace.